Welcome back to Pearl Media, where truth meets perspective. Today, we're diving into another classic Kevin Samuels moment. Let's get into it.
With children, come on, talk about not sharing. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
I'm 33.
Okay. Who's 33?
Me.
Okay. 33. Are you single or are you married?
I was engaged, but we
You
ended.
single?
Yeah.
Any kids?
No.
Okay. 25. Single or married?
I'm single.
You got to speak up. You got to speak
I'm
up.
sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm single.
Any children?
No.
33. Would you share a man?
Okay, this is why I got into it with my ex about, because he felt like he's Muslim and he felt like he could have more than one woman. But my thing is, okay, I understand it, but aren't you supposed to be able to provide for all the women that you supposed to have, right?
If they're your wives.
Right. So my thing is, if he's not providing and stuff, he's like living in a fairy tale, right? So how can you
No,
have
no, no, no,
multiple
no, no,
women?
no, 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 no. You said your boyfriend.
Well, my ex fiance,
That's
we
just
was
a
only working.
husband. That's not a husband.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Do you?
Mhm.
So so you are okay? What's the position? You think you
Yes,
should have
I
this?
feel like I'm okay with sharing if he's able to do what he's supposed to do on both ends.
What does that mean? What does that mean for you specifically? Does that mean he has to retire you and you sit at home and do nothing?
No.
Do you still work full time?
Yes.
Okay,
I
then what
want
is
to
he
work.
supposed to do? Then what is he supposed to do?
Like, be respectful, do spontaneous things.
Well, now, anything you just earlier said is, as a man supposed to be able to, before he can have this poly thing, and he's supposed to be able to provide. I will stick
Yes,
to providing. What is he supposed to provide?
everything, like help with everything. Like, everything should be 50-50 to me.
Okay, ma'am, if you can't tell us, how can he know what to do? Give me some examples of what everything, ma'am, means. I don't know.
The bills,
If
help.
you think, can he take care of himself?
Yes, if he's supposed to be, he's
Excuse me,
if
excuse
he
me.
wants two
Hold
wives,
on,
why
hold
would
on,
you?
hold on, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on. I gave you an opportunity to clarify. You didn't take it. So I'm
okay,
going to get the questions. We're talking about men who are functioning citizens who are taking care of themselves, right? That's what I'm talking about.
okay.
All right. So if he can take care of himself, that means if you guys get together, he's going to take care of what he was doing before. See, I don't think you're being honest. I think what you're saying is, if I'm with him, he's supposed to take care of everything.
No, no,
So,
like,
okay, 50-50. When you're married,
right.
is your husband supposed to pay 50-50?
Yes.
All right, then if he's 50-50, can he still have other women?
If he's paying 50-50, yes.
He's paying 50-50 for who?
For both of us, that's what I'm saying. He paying bills at
He's
my
only
place.
living
He
one
paying
place,
bills at
man.
that
He's only
girl.
living one place. Why does he have to pay for another woman? He ain't living there.
Okay, so if you're saying he's supposed to have multiple women, oh, okay, he got to make sure that both of his women are okay. He got to be able to provide for
No, I
both
don't
of
think
them.
the math ain't mathing, man. I don't think either you're not being honest or you're not understanding. Why does he have to provide 50-50 for another woman? He lives on one main street with you. That's where his
Okay,
mortgages due, his utilities, everything. He doesn't live with her. The time he spends with her is casual time.
okay,
Are you
all
okay
right.
with that?
I'm
Because
fine with
what it
that.
sounds to me like is, well, I'm cool as long as he can pay bills here, he can pay bills there. But are you going to be?
I'm cool with that. I just don't feel like a man should be talking about they want multiple women. They need to be taken care of themselves. Like, they don't have no kind of source of income or anything like that, and they want
Who
to
talks
be
about that?
a
Who talks
rapper,
about that? Who talks about that? Who talks
huh?
about a man who's got multiple women and women are taking care of him? Who talks about that?
Who talks about that?
Uh huh.
I don't think nobody really talks about it, but it's a lot of men that.
So why are we talking? No. If nobody
Okay.
talks about it, I don't talk about it. Why are we talking
Okay.
about it? See, what I want you guys to understand is women always go to the men that they find distasteful and disqualified and try to use that to color all men. I make women make
Okay.
distinctions. What about men who are thorough, taking care of their business? Can he have multiple women? And therein lies the rub. No. And that's why I said you're full of shit. You're full of shit. That's why we went all the way around the
I'm
world.
not. I'm not. If he
You're
say
full of shit. That's why I do what I do. I'm too good at what I do. You're full of shit.
I'm not.
Okay, ma'am, let me ask you. I'm gonna be honest. You're full of because you're not being honest. That's what I mean by
I am. If he's taking care of his business, he can't have multiple
take care of his
women.
business. All he
Yes.
gotta do is be able to take care of himself. All he gotta do is be able to take care of himself, take care of his part of the bills. Because I mean,
Yes.
to be rude, man. How tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
Dress size?
Why?
Don't do that. I trust you. Please don't do that. You don't want to do that. I ask this question to most women, so
13.
that ain't a dress size.
Well, that's what size I wear.
All right, I'm gonna give you one more
Extra
opportunity.
large.
I'm gonna give. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to give you one more opportunity to be reasonable, because I'm not doing that to you. Okay? I'm not trying to be rude. I ask this question often, so I don't get it. So, and it's for a reason. What's your dress size? 13 is a standard dress size.
My dresses say extra large.
Okay, how much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
I'm not telling my weight on here.
Okay.
I'm heavier. I'm a heavier woman, so yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So in any woman, fresh face out of the shower, your natural face, where would you rank yourself from 1 to 10? You can't use 7.
Um, I say about 8.
Beyonce is an 8.
Okay.
So I put you and Beyonce side by side. And I put you on the internet and said for men worldwide to vote, you and Beyonce will get equal numbers of votes.
Yes. Of course, they're gonna pick Beyonce too. She's like super popular.
No, she's an 8. That's why they
I'm
pick
an
her.
8 too.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Why? Because I'm heavier.
No, but I didn't ask anything about you when I asked your looks. I didn't say anything about your body, did I? See, all I want you guys to understand is women want to put restrictions upon men, but you guys resist being judged and evaluated the way you judge and evaluate men. Notice how quick you were quick to talk about what a man needs to do and put parameters on him. But when we put the similar parameters on y'all want to get real vague. Dress size 13, I don't want to answer. I'm a 10, I'm an 8. Man,
Oh.
I've been doing this too long. I try to let you do it yourself, man, but you do not line up with Beyonce level beauty. And that's not an insult. And it has nothing
Okay.
to do with your weight.
Okay.
But my question is, why are you, if you know the reason I'm asking is, do you want to be an 8 or do you honestly walk out there in the world and people say, oh yeah, she's up there with Beyonce?
No, nobody says I'm up there in Beyonce, but I get beautiful all the time.
Okay. I would say you're cute. I would say average to cute. 5, 6, 6.
Okay.
But when you factor in now, this is when your body does come into play. Average, above average, or below average health. Health is below average from a
Okay.
weight standpoint. So being obese, overweight, larger.
Okay.
And it's a medical term. I'm not trying to.
I understand what you're saying, but
So, I mean, you didn't want to give me your weight, so I have to go with what I see.
Okay.
And I would say it's probably on the side of probably morbid. Listen, so if you're average to cute, but below average on the health standpoint, does that make your number go up or down overall?
You're saying we're ranking.
Looks,
We're
body.
ranking on
Looks,
beauty.
does your body increase your ranking or decrease your ranking?
It can decrease a year.
No, it can. It does.
Well, it does.
Okay, and the point of all that is I asked this of women.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an average to below average woman, that means you get an average to below average man. Assortative mating.
Okay.
So you don't get men who are paying every bill. You're getting guys that can take care of themselves. But those guys still have options too, because there are more females than males of every race.
Okay.
So where has monogamy ever been the standard? And where in the world? What monetary system? What system of government?
Well, no, I just think. Well, in America they do it.
That's
Like
not.
so.
In the black community, 80% of the kids are born by 20% of the men. 54% of black men are single and childless. 30% are married. That means 16% of the men are roughly responsible for 80% of the kids. Future, Memphis, guys, 3 kids, 3 men, 84 kids.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is women have always had to share men. Females have always had to share males. Female mammals have always shared male mammals. The only difference is in hyenas. And that's scarily what the black community seems to be becoming, more like hyena clan.
Mm-hmm.
And is it better to have part of a man or a whole nothing?
I feel like it's better to have part of a man.
Okay, and that's all I'm asking. Ladies, I'm not saying this is an ideal solution, and I'm not saying you're supposed to like it, but I am saying that for every group of women, you're going to have to make trade-offs and choices. And the more you have in sexual marketplace value bucks, credit, the more you can demand. But if you're in the average to below average, you have fewer options. 25. What do you think about sharing?
I think at this point in my life, I'm not really
Oh, you are
interested
so
in
low,
it.
I can't hear you.
I'm so sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you need to take the headphones off or something.
Okay, hold on.
So, all right. Go ahead.
Hello?
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
I think at this point in my life, I wouldn't want to share,
okay, that's fine.
but I think, what you're saying about retirement and stuff makes sense. I don't know.
Do you
At
want to be
this point in
married
my life, I
one day?
couldn't imagine it.
Do you want to be married one day?
Yeah, I do.
You want children?
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's not realistic at this point, because if we're going to start a family together, like I need a full man to raise my kids and my family.
Okay, you're 25, right?
Yeah.
Were your mother and father married?
Yes.
All right. Do you have a man that's actively right now vetting you to be his wife?
No, I'm single.
Okay, so was it a long relationship?
It was like 4.5 years.
How long ago was that?
Like maybe like 2 months ago.
Okay, so at 25, the clock is ticking.
Oh. I mean,
Clock is ticking. 27 to 35, you officially enter what I call the danger zone.
Danger zone.
And that's when you really better focus like a laser on the outcomes you want. And the reality is, far too many women today are passive when it comes to mating. How are you supposed to find this man that you want to marry and have kids with and be with him for a lifetime? How's that supposed to happen? You got to be just as deliberate as you were about going to college and picking a job and everything else, because you got a clock. All women have a clock. Because what happens at 30 years old? Do you have as much time as you do now?
no.
That's the whole point. At your age, would you say that you're moving with an extreme sense of priority or sense of urgency regarding a relationship?
Honestly, no. I mean, that's why I'm here, because I'm conflicted. Because I'm like, I was in my last relationship for so long. It's like I want to take some time, but it's
Okay.
also like, all right, I know I should be
How old was the person you were with?
dating. He's 28.
And why'd you guys end your relationship?
We were young, you know. And I knew, like, you know, I just didn't want to spend 10 years in a relationship waiting for him to get to his point. So I was like, you know what? I'm 25. I have to find my husband eventually. Let me cut my losses, you know. And
Well, but you spent 4.5 years with somebody, and that
yeah.
leaves a mark. So you're in therapy?
Yeah.
All right. There's a school of thought that says it takes about a third of the time you're with somebody to get over them. That still puts you right around 26, 27. But you still got to understand
Right. So
that the clock is out there. That's what's hanging over y'all. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You can take time. You got to do the work, and you got to make sure that you're clearing out the clutter and making sure that you are the kind and caliber of woman that the kind and caliber of man you want to marry will pick.
absolutely.
So y'all got to do a lot of, and that, my point is, women have to be much more deliberative about mating and relationship, because you're saying at your age you want to put maximum investment into a man, which you're still young enough, but the young card turns off around 27. So just be very deliberate, and it's kind of like focusing on the outcome, because what a lot of women will do is it's hot girl summer, let's turn up, I got time. You remember the fable of the ant and the grasshopper, or the tortoise and the hare?
Mm-hmm.
Don't take a nap. Don't take a nap.
Okay.
Keep moving. All right then, take it easy.
Man, Kevin Samuels was in rare form with this one. 2 women, back to back, both living in fantasy, and both got handed a mirror they clearly weren't ready to look into. Kevin didn't raise his voice. He didn't insult them. He did what he always does. He asked the kind of questions that expose the truth without even needing to say much else. What do you bring to the table for the kind of man you're asking for? Why do you think your past choices don't affect your current market value? If what you're doing hasn't worked by now, why are you still defending it? And just like that, silence, stuttering, or emotional dodgeball. Kevin didn't have to go full throttle. He just asked the right questions and the delusion fell apart all on its own. One of the women was talking about manifesting a 6-figure man while bringing nothing but attitude and average energy to the table. The other one swore up and down that her 2 baby daddies didn't affect her dating value, like men just overlook all that because she's loyal and fun. And Kevin hit them both with the reality check they didn't want but absolutely needed. Loyalty isn't rare, it's expected. You don't get applause for doing the bare minimum. You want a high value man, but you don't live a high value lifestyle. Why would he choose you when he has options? That's the brilliance of Kevin. He's not just roasting people for content, he's revealing just how disconnected a lot of women are from what actual high value men want. He's the master of making them say the quiet part out loud. They expose themselves. They walk in confident and walk out confused. Because for the first time, someone challenged them with facts instead of feelings. He dismantled the entitlement. He exposed the inconsistencies. And he did it all without breaking a sweat. Bottom line, Kevin Samuels doesn't tear people down. He tears delusion down. And if what you believe about yourself can't survive a few honest questions, maybe it was never solid to begin with. So yeah, Kevin is the master. And these two, they learned the hard way that confidence without self-awareness will always collapse under pressure.